What's up, folks? Welcome to our show, Watching Paint Dry. This is the show where I hang out with some cool people on Discord and we paint miniatures together because it's Saturday night and it's a fun thing to do, and we just kind of hang and talk and paint minis, and it's awesome. On the line, as always, I have Adam and Mike. Guys, how's it going?
It's going great.
Going
How
good,
are you?
man.
I'm doing okay. Long day sitting around doing nothing at the store because the customers are still not coming in, with good reason. So I just kind of bagged and boarded comics all day, which is fine. I guess I'm not going to complain. Yeah. So let's get to the painting, shall we? Tonight I am continuing work on the Chaos Dwarf Bull Centaurs that I was doing some work on last time. I'm also going to start in on some Gears of War Locust. I have a single Locust here because I have very little idea how to paint him, but I do have a giant picture of a Locust on my second monitor, so hopefully that'll get us through. Mike, what are you painting tonight?
I have got a box set from Night Models of the Birds of Prey, so I'm cracking into that.
All right, and Adam?
I am painting Bebop from the IDW Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Nice. I'm so excited about that.
He's got this nice big chainsaw.
You know, interesting. So, I mean, the Gears of War guy that I am painting currently does not have a Lancer, so he doesn't have a chainsaw. But I was mentioning in chat before we went live that I cannot wait to paint the cogs because we have that technical Blood for the Blood God paint that I can't wait to just slaughter all over the chainsaw.
Yeah. I just realized I don't have a paper towel, so
I have my trusty paper towel that's been with me since 2001, I think.
That's a really old paper towel.
It is a really, really old paper towel. Alright, so where am I? Ian's here! And RPD. RPD says, welcome to Watching Paint Dry, the show where Zach beats Ninja Video Sensei at challenging timing. RPD, it's got to be like, oh god in the morning for you, right?
Okay, I'm back. So a very weird day.
Oh?
Yeah, I slept for most of it. I slept until 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh my golly.
That was
I was wondering why we didn't see any posts from you all morning.
Yeah, because we slept with the windows open last night, and I woke up just exhausted and I had really puffy eyes, and just felt awful. And I think it was just like allergies because we closed the windows then, and I've been able to breathe better and not be exhausted and
nice. I remember how I did that. So I did some Bull Centaurs a very, very long time ago, and I can barely remember how I did it. But I think I just remembered. We're gonna try something. I was fortunate enough that one of the best painters, or one of the most, I guess, prolific painters at the who comes in the store, stopped by today to pick up some paints. So I was able to bounce some ideas off him about the Gears of War stuff.
Very cool.
He does high quantity of work. I haven't seen enough like pictures of his work to know what the quality is, but I assume that given how much he paints, it's probably pretty good.
Or he's just slapping it on there and doesn't care.
Well, I mean, there's that, but I you know. Oh, that's too much.
Those are the options at that point, I think.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. Locust, get out of the way.
Oh, I needed to paint. I didn't get to do it last week, so.
Yeah, we missed you, man. I mean, it was great to have you in chat, but
yeah.
This is.
I didn't paint all last week, but I didn't. I was setting up this very office, so.
Yeah, how do you like the new space?
It's great. I love it. Yeah. I have a door, so that's a huge improvement.
Absolutely. When you have 2,000 goblins to paint. And more importantly, how does Freya like not being in that space?
She actually kind of loves it. She likes it.
Cool.
I don't know if it's just like the novelty of it or whatever, but like she's doing really well with that.
That's good. That's good.
She actually has a larger space. This is a smaller space, but I can control it more, and that's what's important. So.
And you were telling us yesterday, especially, you have a ton of work to do right now. And,
oh yeah.
So I guess being able to shut the door is key. Yes. I know if I had to be, I mean, if I had to have my door open, even teaching, I would be in a rough way. The remote teaching thing obviously has taken quite its toll on all of us, but RPD says almost like Adam's a professional or something. Oh, actually, Adam, I did have some praise to pass on to you. We had a comic book customer come in today, and he was complaining, as we do frequently, about Marvel art. And I said, well, check this guy out, because I happen to have that issue of the Punisher that you used for the color grabs on the Parse issue.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, I loved this issue. I'm like, well, check this one out. He's like, oh my God, why doesn't Marvel just hire this guy? I'm like, well...
Because they can't afford me.
Damn straight.
I mean, they could afford me.
Oh, I'm sure, but
I don't carry the, like, I don't know, Sean Gordon Murphy or Jim Lee name.
Right.
So, like, I mean, also neither of them work for Marvel, but
yeah, I was to say those are both DC, but you know.
But like the only people that get paid, I guess Donny Cates, the only people that get paid well at Marvel are the big guys.
Right.
I think DC has a better page rate from what I understand, but
I believe that's correct. I haven't talked to Jim Palmiotti in a very, very long time, but I feel strongly like I remember him saying something to that effect.
I watched an interesting video that brought him and Amanda up yesterday.
I love them. They are some of the nicest people.
Yeah. It was a Power Girl video.
Oh yeah.
It was about why does she have such big boobs. That was the conceit of the video.
I'm reminded of the opening scene in Galaxy Quest where Sigourney Weaver's complaining about similar.
Well, yeah. So like it's really interesting because Wally Wood was working on forget what book she was even in at the time. I think it was maybe Justice League Europe, maybe. And like she was the standardly built like normal comic book ladies are, right? But nothing extreme. But he felt like his editors weren't looking at his work, and like that he felt really unappreciated, and and was like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna increase her cup size just a little bit every month, and see, until they notice. And it was like 7 or 8 months before anyone noticed.
Oh my God! Whoa! Oh, I forgot this guy had fallen off his base. Oh well. Goes right back on. That's why we put
it's interesting that it doesn't come from like, oh, you know what, this is going to sell books. It comes from, I feel underappreciated, please look at me.
Yeah, that's hysterical.
That's very interesting. Yeah.
We have so I showed you recently the Daredevil, Power Man, and Iron Fist that I have in my kitchen. We also have Jimmy and Amanda did a Harley and Power Girl for us, and my wife frequently complains about Power Girl. And I'm like, well,
I really liked their animation for the window also.
Yeah.
Which I think was actually the reason that started was a coloring mistake. Was like someone didn't want it to be derivative of Superman, and they were just like, this is just a chest symbol, just like Superman. And then someone like mistakenly colored it that flesh colored, and then it's stuck.
Yeah. But I've worked many times with Jim and Amanda at conventions, and they are just some of the nicest people. Amanda does not do like sketches or anything for anybody. She did one for me every year.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was super cool.
She's really great. Like she's a really great artist. I think she's pretty underappreciated.
I completely agree with you.
Hmm.
And I mean,
wondering if this is like a 2-1 note, and that could come out in shading. Like,
Yeah, I
could
think
fix that.
that would be fine.
I'm thinking maybe doing like the nose more pink, maybe.
Sure,
Um,
that makes sense. Did I give you any of the colored shades?
the which ones?
Anything other than Null and Oil for shade paints?
I don't think so. I think
Oh,
they
okay.
were out of them.
Yeah, we were. Because we got, of course, we got to restock like the next week, but
Yeah.
because isn't that always the way? Because I have one
Yeah.
here. This Casandora yellow. Put it under that camera. Would be awesome there.
Yeah, Casandora Yellow is great.
I will definitely be using it on part of the Locust if I can get close enough on the detail. So they have this weird glowy like armor piece that I think the Casandora Yellow would be brilliant for. So Mike, how about that win in Arkham yesterday in 90 minutes?
Yeah, that was outstanding.
That was unbelievable.
The stars aligned.
Absolutely. I think Trevor was a little dumbfounded. Although,
Because I mean, guaranteed it was second edition, but like the first time
first edition.
that what?
First edition.
No, it was second edition when we were playing it the first time that I was a guest.
Oh, right.
And we started at like 5 and didn't finish till like midnight.
Correct.
And even some of the first edition games have gone on almost that long.
Yeah. Yeah, that
I've
was.
certainly had some of those games.
Well, you know, it was
So
funny.
the,
'Cause-
the longest I think was I played a second edition game that was we played with all the expansions.
Yes.
And 8 people.
Yes, we've done that.
And that went on that was like a 14-hour game.
Yeah. I mean, Alex and Sammy and I kind of have Arkham Second Edition down to a science. We can move the game along pretty quickly. But as soon as you put all the expansions, well, the thing with when you put all the expansions in, the expansion boards become largely irrelevant because
really?
they just don't happen as frequently as anything else. So
It
Like-
might not have been I think it might have been early in the run of Arkham Horror though, also of second edition.
okay,
So it might have been not as many of the expansions. I don't know.
that's
I don't know.
possible. I
I
mean,
don't know
there's
all of them, but
three add-on boards and 4 mini boxes at this point.
okay. We only had 2 add-on boards.
Okay, yeah, so that'll still be at least somewhat relevant at that point.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yes, Cadian Flesh. Actually, I'm gonna keep drop brushing first. I think. Yeah. Yeah, Eagles on Scarlet's fine. But yeah, it was absolutely insane. Like everything, the only, of course, Trevor was our guest last night. The only bad thing that happened to Trevor. Poor guy got lost in time and space on like turn 3.
Candace got on there and she said that she was like, "Oh, I'm playing Arkham Horror. I'll be done in like an hour." I was like,
Oh no.
no, you won't."
That's a hard note.
Yeah.
I told her that average game length was 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah, that's average. Meaning that there are high and low ends.
And she, of course, ended up in one of those long ones. Especially considering we also had my buddy Chris on the show, and he was in full banter mode.
Mm-hmm.
And Daryl was on the show too, so he was giving us like, he was texting Richard for rules questions.
It's kind of weird to me that you go full 8 people for a stream. Like, that just seems like a lot to handle.
We thought it might be, but we played it with 4 as sort of like a dry run, and it was oddly not enough.
Oh, okay. I guess I only think of that from like role-playing perspective. I see these, I see things like, you know, Critical Role does it, and there's a lot of other people, like, it's because Critical Role does it, I'll see like smaller streamers do it too, but they'll have like 8 people on there, and I'm like, don't do this for role-playing.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know that I'd want to
way
do
too many people.
like a proper roleplay. Like, I think our crew for SCRPG was perfect.
Yeah, I would never want more than 4 for a stream. I don't like more than 4 for a regular game, but
Fair. I guess, you know, part of it is we're so used to playing with a bunch from the store that we just kind of know how to manage it.
yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I meant with role playing.
Right. Sure.
There, as long as I center that, the base on that, it looks like it's fine.
So, Ian, I have played both Eldritch and 3rd Edition, and don't get me wrong, they're good games. It's just not what I want personally from my Arkham experience. So we tend to gravitate, my crew tends to gravitate towards 2nd Edition. We've also been playing 2nd Edition with help from Richard for the last 4 years every single month. So we know it kind of inside and out. The weirdest thing for me, the weirdest experience that I've had playing Arkham was sitting at the table, having just come back from Gen Con and having met Richard for the first time, and I get an email from him saying, "Hey, you should try this scenario in your next Arkham game." And we're like, well, I guess we don't really have a choice at this point. He really does love his game, and I think
He does. Richard's an awesome guy.
oh my god, he's so cool.
Yeah, he's just so chill and like real.
Yeah, well, you know, my favorite Richard story, and I tell this one a lot. He that first year when we were demoing Fate of the Elder Gods, he would come up to Alex and me every single day, at least 2 or 3 times a day, just to check and get our feedback.
Yeah.
And he had no idea who either one of us was. You obviously did, you know, you being GTG obviously did, because we'd worked with you for several years at that point, but like he could have completely ignored us, but he trusted us to, hey Westy, to really give him good feedback, and of course we did. And one day it was before the show floor opened up. We were just hanging out with Craig, and Richard politely goes, "Hey, can I borrow the 2 guys so I can get some feedback?" Craig said, "Of course." And we start walking down the hall with Richard, and Tom Vassell comes up and tries to like whisk Richard away, and Richard just gives him the dirtiest look, and Tom doesn't get it, and finally Richard goes, "Excuse me, Tom, I'm talking to these fine gentlemen." I've never seen Tom Vassell look so offended in my life. It was awesome.
I think that that's that is kind of textbook. Richard,
Yeah.
he's just a super classic act. There's a lot of people in the game industry that are real divas.
Mm-hmm. This is true.
And like this is also like the comic industry.
Oh yeah.
To me, it's like, okay, you guys, you're not celebrities.
Right.
Like, you are to a certain number of people, but you're not Will Smith,
Right.
you know. And it's worse with comic book people, I think.
Oh, it's far worse with comic book people. I'm thinking of Neil Adams right here.
God, Neil Adams. He's,
What a dingleberry.
I'm trying not to name names.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't do that. That's probably good advice.
But yeah, there's a lot of comic book people that act like celebrity. A lot of low tier comic book people that act like Neil Adams, at least like has been forever, right?
Yes, this is true.
Yeah.
And is one of the most prolific comic artists in history.
Yes.
So like, in my opinion, he's earned a little bit of that.
Right. But there are definitely people who have earned more and don't take advantage of it.
Right. But there's also people that have earned that have done like one book and act
Right.
like they're celebrities.
Yeah.
All right.
The small convention that used to be in Providence had a cosplay game. If you wanted to play, you needed to be dressed as the character you were playing. Ah, okay. So, interestingly, that is a thing we do around the store, too. Mostly for the Arkham Horror card game. Sammy, who plays Arkham with us on the stream, well, he used to. He's in the process of moving right now, so we say he's lost in time and space, but we actually know exactly where he is. He has intricate costumes that he's put together for numerous of the investigators at this point. He started with Roland Banks, and he's an absolutely spitting image of Roland Banks. And then, of course, Alex and I had to follow suit. Alex brought in a Monterey Jack costume, and I brought in a Daryl Simmons costume. And we wore those for a couple of weeks, and then Sammy showed up dressed as Akachi Onyele. That was interesting.
I was going to say, that's dedication. That's
Yeah.
a really
That was
very
commitment.
intricate costume.
That was commitment. I'll never forget the look that my boss gave him.
Red boots too. The boots also. It's okay.
I guess I need gray. Between moving and training for his fight with the Big C, after hearing that Big C started his training, Sammy's got a lot on his plate. RPD is making reference, of course, to, was it Smite that Cthulhu's coming to? Or came to?
Oh. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I downloaded Smite.
Did you?
Yeah, I tried to play it a long time ago, and it did not have a very good tutorial.
Sure.
I played through the tutorial this time. It was a lot better.
I'm just in a weird
fun.
spot, like, where... I mean, so folks who know me know that if I'm playing games, I'm sitting right here at this desk. And because my work has invaded this desk, I find it really difficult to sit down and play games anymore.
That makes sense.
So I've been playing a couple of Switch games because I can move that around. I still have my game streams, but yeah, I did almost complete Super Mario World for Super Nintendo, and then I jostled my Superboy just wrong, and it deleted my save file.
Oh god.
I think what happens is if I bump it just right, the save battery is loose in the cartridge. so it kind of reseats itself. And so now I've got
That's
absolutely no motivation to finish that again. Like I've beaten that game so many times, but
yeah, I beat it every Thanksgiving. That's like
yeah, it's not hard.
It's
And
always cool for
once I
me.
started remembering it, like I got way better at it.
yeah.
And I've actually got 2
This is
copies
later
of it.
levels that you don't play that often, you know.
Right.
Because like there's so many times I've turned it on and beat like the first 2 castles and then been done.
Yeah. That's generally about as far as I get. Sometimes I'll get as far as like the woods, and then just be like, I don't feel like completing that very specific set of circumstances that it requires to move on.
Yeah, I get that. What happened here? Oh my god.
And I'm never about the, let's, get 100% clear or anything like that. I just
I'm
want
so
to
bad
beat
about that.
Bowser and move on.
The
Me,
all
I've been
exits.
playing through the Super Mario Wii
Yeah.
or Wii U, and like we go through and just like do a level, and then I go through afterwards, make sure I get like every star coin, find
Yeah.
all the secret exits, everything else. I'm a
Yep.
hardcore like completionist.
I'm that way with some games, and other games I'm just like, I'm just playing it to play it. Like I'm doing my Battle Network run, and I'm like, I'm just like, I could be way better at this, especially if I was playing with an actual Game Boy Advance and not a Super Nintendo controller that likes to jump me around the board. But I really just want to enjoy the game. Like, it's got a fun story, it's goofy, and it's one of my favorite characters. So like, I'm gonna take my time and really enjoy it.
Yeah, makes sense.
If I'm playing, like, at this point, if I'm playing like 0, 1, or 2, then I can kind of speedrun it. I can certainly do it in one sitting. But again, like, if I'm streaming it, that's not what I'm looking to do.
Yeah, Mega Man X, I 100% every time, but
Yeah. Oh,
can
0,
do
yeah,
that in
0,
an
1, 0, 1, absolutely. I can 100% that every single time. But did you see the?
I do a Star Road in
Oh yeah.
in Mario, but in the like extra levels.
Yeah.
But I don't 100%
No.
the
Speaking of Zero, though, did you see the model kit that I posted today?
Yeah, wow, yeah.
I'm so excited. Like, purple was my favorite color, well documented, and it's Zero. I gotta have it.
That's pretty rad.
As your brother pointed out, it is not. It's not the same as Black Zero, but I kind of like it better. And the Black Zero Mini is so expensive.
Hard to say. Yeah, it is that.
Paul and I have had an ongoing discussion about whether or not Black Zero is ever worth the $150 or whatever it is to buy at this point, and it just keeps going up.
Maybe I should. Yeah, it was 117 when I looked at it. But
Oh, was it?
yeah, maybe I should get it for him for his birthday or something.
He would like that. He would like that. There we go, medium layer.
Just tomorrow for me.
It is,
No way.
well, RPD.
Exciting.
RPD is in Denmark, so technically it is today for him.
Oh, hey.
RPD could very easily wish you happy birthday right now and have it be valid. I'm trying to get him to do it.
RPD gave me a birthday gift before anybody else.
Did he
He
really?
got me. Yeah, he got me a couple games on Steam on the 1st.
Nice.
So like, yeah.
We were so excited that not only were we able to say Happy Birth Month on Monday, there it is, on Monday, but it also have it happen to be Mega Man's birthday and Mega Monday. So we were Chamali and Sanvar and Paul and I worked on those Sentinels character sheets for several days.
Yeah, it's pretty rad. I look forward to giving every year because it's time to post the pictures of the Green Gobbler.
Yeah, me too. I've been like actually this past
Company.
Thanksgiving, I just happened to find an issue that I was in the stuff that I was sorting with Green Gobbler, and I'm like, oh my god.
That's awesome. Dude, did you see those mangas? Those.
I did. I looked all day. Like, anytime I had a free second, I was looking in the bins to try and find them, and we don't have them. And they're not in Overstreet either. Like, the translated versions are in Overstreet, but they're not worth it.
The translated versions have garbage covers, though.
Right. Those
And
were
like 90% of what I want with them are the covers.
exactly.
I wanna like frame those, you know.
Oh yeah, those are definitely wall art.
Yeah, I asked Pete to check around for me.
Oh yeah. Oh, actually, that makes perfect sense. He would definitely be the one to look.
He's in Japan there.
How's he doing? We haven't heard from him since the game ended.
Good. He's, you know, teaching. That's basically it.
Right on.
Yeah. Very busy. He's making a textbook
Oh,
for
nice.
teaching English. It's like a workbook in case you miss class, basically. So
Oh, that's cool.
he had me do some editing on that.
And my students are always kind of dumbfounded that I know someone who lives in Japan. Hooray for small town.
How do they not, though, at this point? It's the internet. Like,
Because, so most of them have no idea that there's a world outside of Romney. Like,
really?
they're so impoverished. Like, if someone they know makes it to the college in the next town over, that's like cause for celebration.
Oh, wow.
It's a rough area. But I love my kiddos. I've been working on their graduation video all week. I actually have to throw some of it at Colin because I need some help.
He'll be pretty good at that.
Yeah, he is. When the parents decided to gripe, they were like, well, why don't we just record the actual ceremony that's going to happen with like crazy social distancing and all the kids have to sit in their cars? I'm like, because this is better. Like, do you understand that I have a degree in filmmaking? Like, I know what I'm doing.
Do they know that the CDC said everyone should be back in school? Like, there's no reason for kids to not be?
Yes. I mean, I think that's the big gripe. And yet.
I don't know. Like, I understand for people that have immune deficiencies. I understand for old people, etc. But at this point, like, fear has just become a virtue, and those who spread it are as unto priests.
Ian was asking what manga. There was an X-Men manga that was released in, the late 90s?
It was like 94, 95?
Mid-90s. It had some
cool,
amazing cover art.
That's right. RPD's in Denmark.
RPD is in Denmark.
Yeah. Yeah, I am homeschooling my kids. So
Yeah.
that's-
I mean, part of me can't put me there. Like, even as a public school teacher, I'm just like,
yeah, I have the luxury of my wife staying at home though. Like,
Right.
and not everyone's got that. I understand.
Correct.
That, so. Although, like, we talked about her going, her working again, but like, it would cost more to put Freya in daycare than it would for her to like go to work.
Correct. And I think a lot of people are running
Which is
into that.
Ridiculous. Like, it's cheaper to stay home with your kid.
Right. I mean, I'm fortunate. Like when Katie and I decided to have a kid, my mom has said she's going to retire and take care of the kid for the first couple of years, so that we can continue to work.
Oh, that's nice.
And then what will likely happen is I will, if we aren't living in the town that I work, which is fairly likely, I will probably just tuition my kid into the school that I'm teaching at, because then I can sort of manipulate that.
You can control it. Yeah, yeah. I feel not super positive about the American school system. So.
Oh, I'm even as a teacher, Adam, I'm right there with you.
Well, and like most of like the teachers that I know don't feel positive about it, so
Right.
like that makes me feel less positive about it.
Yeah, and this is a whole can of worms that we could open, but I'm not going to, because I obviously don't want to get myself in trouble. But
Right. Yeah.
and also you've heard it from me plenty of times. But it's, there's a lot going on that is decidedly subpar. And if I'm being honest, the remote teaching is one of the best things that's happened to teachers in a long time.
I believe it.
Because we are once again able to teach creatively.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's my main problem is that like the teachers a lot of times are stifled in what they're allowed to do, and there is a lot of emphasis put on compliance over thinking critically.
Yes.
And I really dislike that.
I am completely there with you. And if I, like, numerous times, my advisors and whatnot have been like, you need to get a math certification or something like that. I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. Because my job as a technology integrator is to teach creativity.
Mm-hmm.
And my students like coming to my class because they can think like human beings. And not like machines.
You allow them to, yeah.
And, I have, of all the specialists, music, art, PE, I have one of the highest participation rates during remote teaching, because the things I'm asking the kids to do, while still being technology related and specifically use of technology, which is one of the standards I have to target, are just these weird, wacky, creative projects that take no time at all, but they have to think about them over the course of the week. Otherwise, they don't come out well. There's a show on Channel 4 in the UK called Taskmaster, and they cross-posted to YouTube, so I get to watch it here. It's just these bizarre tasks that these comedians are asked to perform. I asked my students to do some of the tasks from the show and record themselves doing it, and they are having an absolute ball.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, a lot of the teachers have started taking leaves out of my book because they see that, I'm having success.
Yeah.
Is it more work for me? Yes, definitely, absolutely. But you can bet your bottom dollar it's worth it.
Well, you care. You haven't had it beaten out of you yet.
Exactly. I got one of the best emails from my boss that I've ever gotten from any boss ever yesterday, because I kind of took charge of this video project. It was 3 words. It said, "You're the boss." I'm like, great, cool, awesome. Now I feel good about what I'm doing. Like, I feel confident and I can move forward. Like,
And then I came in, it was like, well, I mean, like, I'm the boss, but for this thing, it's
right. It feels like I'm trusted and supported.
Yeah.
And you know, I one of what you know, I have to throw my personal flair into any video project that I make. One of the graduation speeches was running a little bit long, so I was like, okay, I can't in good conscience cut it. You know, I'm not directing the Oscars here. But what I can do is I can put music behind it and sort of make it flow a little bit better. And it was the former science teacher who everybody loved, myself included, but he kind of got drummed out for reasons I won't go into. And the kiddos asked him back to do their speech, and of course he was overwhelmingly positive about it. And he did this little gag where he took a picture of himself from 8th grade and did like a puppet show with it, which is a fairly common gag. Like a lot of people do that in graduation speeches. But I snuck a Ninja Sex Party song in behind it. I recorded it myself, so it wasn't the original, and there was no lyrics. But the song Danny Don't You Know is literally exactly that same story. Like, yes, you're a geek now, but everything's going to be fine. So I just re-recorded it myself and put that in. Little Easter egg. Hopefully nobody looks up to see who LD Avedon and B Wecht are. Mike, I love Runefang Steel.
Runefang Steel is the bomb.
It's so good. I wish it was a little less runny.
Yeah.
Because I use it as a dry brush more than a layer.
No, I usually, if I want the silvery dry brush, I've been using this Necron compound.
Yeah, Necron compound is good. I just find I have a little bit more control with the Runefang Steel.
Yeah. Okay. Time for some freehanding.
Uh-oh.
Who are you painting right now?
I'm painting Oracle. So she's got a t-shirt on, and I'm going to try and put the bat signal on. Like the bat symbol on the chest.
Oh boy.
Oh.
So a little thing that I try to do, Mike, before I do any freehanding, if the area is big enough, grab, if you have one of the Papermate twisty pencils, these guys, and draw what you're about to paint.
Sorry, what guys? Oh, I don't have any of those.
Oh, bummer. I mean, any mechanical pencil will do. I just happen to like those ones because they kind of sharpen themselves as you draw. But
Did you guys see the freehand of my Michelangelo?
that was the pizza.
For the skateboard?
Yeah.
I loved that.
Yeah.
I thought that was so cool. I wish I had. I should bring it home from the store. I have one Chaos Dwarf that I did their sort of God's logo completely freehand, no pencil or anything, and it came out so dope.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna paint these pouches black. But I'm gonna do a little bit, kind of freehand on this, on Bebop.
I haven't had to do any freehand in a while.
In the cartoon, he had those shoulder pads that were shells.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I love those, but this model doesn't have shoulder pads. So I'm gonna do them on the knee pad.
Oh, right on.
But,
yeah, that makes sense.
But I have to kind of freehand paint that on. And the way I'm going to do it is just paint the kind of light brown of the leather,
Sure.
and then like it's basically like green over that, and maybe make it drip a little bit, like he spray painted it.
Sure. Yeah, I did RPD. And I see what you're saying. I'm actually really excited to play Metronomicon. Like, of course, one of these days I still have to finish Hollow Knight, but I don't know if I'm going to do that on stream or not. I might just play that. Game is so cool.
I played games yesterday just for fun.
Nice.
Yeah, I played Soul Blazer, which is the first of the trilogy of Enix games.
Yeah.
That included Illusion of Gaia and Terra Enigma.
Right. Yeah.
And yeah, I played probably like more than halfway through, just for fun. Just sat and played it. Didn't think about anything else.
See, that's awesome. Like,
yeah.
We play so many games on stream now, whether it's like or in my case, whether it's my stream or your brother's stream or whatever I happen to be doing. Like, we forget the games are supposed to be, or are allowed to be, I should say, just fun.
Yeah.
We don't have to turn our brains on for them, and that's sort of the experience I got replaying the Zero series again. Like, oh my god, these are actually fun, and I don't feel bad about.
Enjoyable.
Yeah. I don't feel like I have to be entertaining.
Yeah, and like you can't get achievements in it, so like, because it's an old game.
Mm-hmm.
So like I don't have to like worry about completionism as much.
Right. I guess that's why I was so excited.
An adulterated experience.
Yeah. I guess that's why I was so excited when I got to play Chex Quest again. I was like, oh my god, this game is so dumb. I just beat it in one sitting. But good lord, it was fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And incredibly nauseating. I think Paul made like 10 people motion sick just streaming at once. I know Colin and I definitely had to look away. And I immediately went for the ginger.
So free-handed the Oracle faces onto the computer screens.
Oh, that's sick!
Oh my god. I can't wait to see a clear picture of that. That's really cool. Okay, I think we're gonna go into his mouth now.
Phrases that only make sense on a painting stream. We're gonna go into his mouth now.
Or like, I don't know, some sort of
medical drama. Scrubs. It makes sense on Scrubs. Which, by the way, I mean, Broody, you got to see the Mine and Chamali's Shenanigans intro yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, that took so much fun. That was so much fun to do. Adam, I don't know if you had heard the Scrubs, or that Zach and Donald from Scrubs were doing a podcast rewatch.
Mm-hmm.
And they have this really goofy intro. And a couple weeks ago, they brought Bill Lawrence, the show creator, on. And he didn't know the answer to the question. And he knew that the trigger for the outro song was to be like 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's just become kind of a running joke on the show. And if Bill doesn't know the answer to a question, he just says 5, 6, 7, 8 and kills the show. So Jamali came on the Arkham show and said 5, 6, 7, 8 2 weeks ago, and I was like, no, I'm not doing it. And then this week I was like, all right, do it again, without really telling him what I was going to do. And I wrote sort of a parody of their jingle to kick off our show, which people seem to appreciate, so I'm pleased with it.
Well, bullet focus, not enough hand, too much hand. There we go, Barbara Gordon.
Oh,
There you go. I love Oracle.
very cool.
Yeah, I have mixed feelings about the new 52, like reintroducing her as Batgirl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, the best part of that to me is Babs Tarr's art,
Mm-hmm.
which is incredible. She's incredibly talented. But I also really liked Oracle. Yeah, I liked her as Oracle.
Well, I do have to
And
say.
now
Oh, go ahead.
kind of like, I don't know, selfie-taking millennial. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I wasn't cool
it's
with
a
that.
big debasement of the character, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, as a giant Nightwing fan, I kind of, by default, am a giant Barbara Gordon fan also.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean, that's
And yeah, my friend has a picture of Batgirl and Spider-Gwen taking a selfie, and I'm like, I actively hate that photo, or that drawing.
I was about to say, I was assembling several minis the other day, and I got a big set of Batman ones, and so I got a Nightwing, assembled it, got a Batgirl, assembled it, Damian Wayne, Robin, Jason Todd Robin. I'm sitting there, I'm like, Tim never gets any love.
Dude, Tim.
And
Okay,
he's
so
my favorite.
I have strong opinions about the Robins.
Yeah.
As much as I think Dick Grayson is my favorite of the Robin characters, Tim Drake is far and away the best Robin.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, yeah,
well, and
yeah.
like the,
I feel like Dick
the one
really
that's,
came
like,
to his own
that
and is
becomes
better
Batman.
as Nightwing than as Robin.
Correct. He's also
Yeah.
a really kick-ass Batman.
Yeah.
Although I would love to have seen what Jason Todd does as Batman. I think that would be super cool.
I think Tim Drake is undoubtedly the best Robin. Like, that's
Yeah.
And after like decades of...
easy.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I just said easy more.
Yeah. I feel like after also decades of like grooming him, then Grant Morrison and introducing Damian, they completely threw all of the grooming Tim to be Batman completely to the wayside.
Well, I mean, we
Yeah.
all know that Grant Morrison ruins things. He's very
I
good
hate
at it.
Grant Morrison.
He had one story that I'm particularly proud or pleased with in his Batman run, and I read it every Christmas because it is a Christmas story in the same way that Die Hard is a Christmas movie, and that's the resurrection of Ra's al Ghul. Other than that, his work on Batman was hot garbage.
Yeah, I like
Great.
Professor Pig and everything he added I've just like actively disliked.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Same. Same. I remember like reading the first issue of his like super incredulously. That like the first page was Joker going like, "Oh my God, I just shot Batman," and in front of a bunch of vulnerable disabled kids.
Right? I'm like, hello.
And then like Batman being like, "If there's one thing I hate, it's art without substance." I don't think Batman gives a shit.
No. Language.
Oh, sorry.
You're good.
I do not think Batman cares.
I do not either.
But I don't think that, I don't think Grant Morrison is a very good writer.
I mean, is it any surprise that he hasn't really seen any prolific work in the last couple of years? Like, I'm starting to get the feeling that people may have wised up to him.
I don't know. Everyone just like swung from his ego forever,
Mhm.
like, and like it was when I was working at the comic store, it was blasphemy to say that Grant Morrison was not good.
Oh, no, absolutely. When I started, you could not say, you were not allowed to say a bad thing about Grant Morrison. I tried
Right,
so
but I can,
hard to appreciate his work.
I came up in the X-Men though, and they were like the first real casualty of his.
Right.
That was like what really, and they're still suffering today because of it. Like he irreparably damaged the X-Men.
I agree.
I was about to say Marvel kind of like did that though for a while. They've been letting X-Men fall to the wayside, and it's just like progressively gotten worse in the past like 2 decades.
Yeah, but switching them out of their comic costumes in the first place into more movie-esque costumes.
That was
like
such
the
a
first
mistake. Like, oh my
downfall.
God.
Yeah.
All right. Last little bit for this guy, I think. Might go back and touch him up off camera, but I gotta do his base still, but I'm not gonna do that on camera either. Because I've shown that a zillion times. Also, I need to patch up their... Anyway, I'm babbling. Really, I just want to get to this locust.
But yeah, Damian Wayne sucks. Just a bratty little kid.
Yep, and it's very unlikely that we'll see them write that aspect out of his character because basically all his character is.
Damian Wayne is basically the same thing that happened in Angel season 4
Yes, he is.
with,
Exactly.
with his son.
Oh my God, you're absolutely right.
I never thought about it, but that might be why Casey likes him so much.
That's the Angel season 4 is the worst.
It's so bad.
His son is unbearable.
Like, literally the worst. Ian says it's easier to destroy than create. I mean, you're absolutely right. It is far easier to destroy.
But I guess going
True,
positively
true.
creating, it's amazing when you have a person that actually cares about like the characters, working on them, because it like really shows. Jeff Johns helming the new Stargirl TV show essentially and doing the writing and everything from it, like starting with a character that he created that's so like emotionally significant to him as a creator. Like it really shows, and the show's pretty good.
Is it? I gotta go back and watch it. I haven't had a chance yet. It's what, 3 episodes in? 4 episodes in? Something like that?
The third one airs Monday.
Oh, okay. So, it's a Monday night? Okay. For some
Yeah.
reason, I thought it was airing on the weekends. I'm
Sorry.
like, that is a very
Sorry,
odd time.
it airs on Monday on DCU and then on Tuesday on CW.
That explains it. Okay, cool.
Making a mess here. Like this is his mouth, trying to get around the tongue muddle, and I can't really even see the tongue. So he looks like he went face first into a jelly donut. That's fine. I'll just pan over it. It's okay.
I've got a nice Detective Bullock mini that would probably be a good look for.
Face first into a jelly. Yeah. That's fair.
He
I don't
always
know, if I-
straight me with the powdered type.
I know what RPD's talking about.
Wait.
It's his Sentinels offshoot thing.
Oh. Yeah, I heard I had a customer come in one time, like one of the few customers that I really got along with, because, about the Grant Morrison thing.
Oh no.
And he called Grant Morrison a tin hat iconoclast.
Oh my
was
god,
like,
that's awesome.
I was like, man, I'm stealing that.
Yeah. So, I was the day before. The day before Granite State Comic Con one year, back when I still went to that, before I got banned, we went to a 3 Days Grace concert because I won tickets from the local radio station. And
Whoa! You glossed over that. You got banned?
I sure did.
How'd that happen? Didn't get in mind.
So the the comic book store that will remain nameless that runs Granite State Comic Con opened up a second branch around the corner from our shop, and they have this odd view of the New Hampshire comic market as there can be only one, where in reality all the stores in New Hampshire have dramatically specialized inventories, and we will happily, if we don't carry something, we will tell you which store does carry that. But they have decided that they should be the only comic book store in the state of New Hampshire, and actively and aggressively try to put the other ones under. They opened up their second branch, and walked into our store where my, at the time, friend and I were playing Magic. They said, "Hi, do you work here?" And I was like, "Yes." And they're like, "Great, we're from the store down the street. We're here to destroy you. Have a nice day," and walked out. So, responding in kind, we took to the lovely platform of Facebook and lambasted their store online. We pulled a Randall Graves, as it were. Thereby getting us all banned from their store and from their convention.
Well,
That's one way to handle it.
Yep. But, like, that's... I should say, everything that I said was 100% true. Their back... My platform was their back issues were overpriced. And I gave specific evidence. I love how my Mega Man music behind me just punctuated my statement perfectly, and I love it. So yeah, it was, it was a weird situation, and so now I no longer go to that show. But honestly, they haven't had anything worth my attention in years anyway. So, yeah, back to the story at hand. My buddy and I, we won tickets from the radio to go see 3 Days Grace at one of our favorite venues in New Hampshire. So it was really just a good excuse to go have a couple of drinks, hang out on the beach, and watch a band for free. The opening band had a guy, the front man for the band, looked exactly like Grant Morrison. It was utterly terrifying.
weird.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I do have a photo of him. I'll dredge it up and post it on Discord later. But for now, I think these guys, other than a couple of little fine detail points that I'll do off camera, are just about done.
So I've got Oracle shaded.
Nice.
So I'm going to move on while that dries right now. Detective Montoya will probably be an easy, quick one to get done.
Oh yeah, for sure. What do you guys think? This is Hathark the Unstoppable.
Looks great.
Nice. Yeah, looks really good.
I'm quite fond of the
Yes,
shading around his nose. I think that came out well this time. All right, Locust time. I have 6 of these guys, but I'm only going to do 1 here because I want to do a proof of concept. I think the first thing I need to do is lay down his flesh.
Out of practice. Slipped and made this giant. I'm like trying to paint the soles of his boots, and I just made this giant white streak across the side.
They look an awful lot like Chuck Taylor's, and I kind of love that.
Yeah, they basically are. Like the
Yeah.
original essentially did just wear those, but like these are like boot versions
Right.
of that.
RPD says, looks unstoppable enough to me. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Alright. Citadel Color app. Let's do it.
I don't like this guy. Alright. Thankfully, white is very easy to paint over.
This is true. I'm kind of excited about the colors I'm about to use because they're very white.
I don't know if you can see the laces there.
I can't, but
Yeah.
my view of it's really tiny, so.
Yeah. I basically I did a dry brush with more paint for
Mhm.
those. I just really lightly skimmed it over it because they were kind enough to raise the laces.
Yeah.
So I just really lightly skimmed over those, and then they look freaking great. Am I allowed to say freaking?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Halfway through, I was like, I don't know what to change this word to.
You know, it's funny. I was just, I don't remember why I was thinking about it, but I'm like, someone is going to say freaking tonight, and it's going to be either me or Adam.
Okay, I think those are all good. Do we do the teeth now? Yes. Okay. This is the finest detail on here.
Ooh.
And of course I screwed it up.
What detail was that?
Okay.
Oh, the shutter
The
shade?
teeth.
Oh, the teeth.
No, the shutter shades are easy because they're those are actually sculpted on there too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna color those, and then they'll get washed with the Nuln Oil, and it'll be great. The teeth are a bit harder, but if I err towards the outside, then I can paint over it with the skin.
Mhm.
color and be fine.
Base coat brush. You are.
I have to kind of work fast with this though, because my skin color is drying out because
Mhm.
I had to mix it myself,
Right.
and I don't want to have to remix that.
The danger of mixing is, yeah, trying to get the same exact one twice.
It's
Yeah.
tough.
Yep. Okay, I think that's good though. Now I want to get that. A little bit of that.
So, Fantasy Flight Games has sort of their own scale, which I can only
Mhm.
properly describe as too small,
Mm-hmm.
which is what I'm painting right now. And it's like, oh my god, I'd forgotten how much of a pain this is.
They also have the other scale,
Did
which
you
is
move
too
over
big.
to your locust?
What's that, Mike?
Did you move over to your locust?
I am working on it right now.
Yeah.
And I've got the big art open next to me, thankfully.
I'm still pretty miffed about Crisis Protocol.
Yes. Oh my god, right?
Being double size.
What is it?
So annoying. Marvel Crisis Protocol.
Yeah, they're 48 inch minis.
Huh.
Or millimeter, right?
Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
48 millimeter.
48 inch would be hardly mini at that
They're
point.
48 inches. Yeah. They're 4-foot miniatures that come in a 1-foot box.
Don't worry about it. We employed Time Lord technology.
Yeah, but like I was like, oh, cool, I can get these and they'll be the same size as my, other ones, because like the 22 to 25 is pretty ubiquitous,
Right.
and they're twice the size. So much for that.
Oh my god, this guy's looking so dope, and all I've done was just hit him with a little bit of a base coat. I'm gonna have to zoom in again. This miniature is just way too small. There he is.
Okay. I think that is that everything except the fine detail. All right. I gotta do his hair now, and I gotta decide: am I doing the gold shades or am I doing the purple shades?
Oh, it's gotta be the
Match
purple,
the hair.
man.
That's what I figured, but
I don't know. The bright gold, just like the ostentatious. Yeah, that's a tough one.
That is a tough call. I mean, okay, I have a specific bias toward purple, but
well, he's gonna have purple hair. So like that's my. Do I want them the same color as his hair, or do I want them?
Yeah.
Do I want them different? Is the question there?
What do you have? Okay, crucial question. What do you have for gold paint?
Okay. So I have this box that I have a bunch of different ones, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. I've never done anything gold before, I don't think.
Yeah.
So I have this dragon bronze, which
Okay.
is
Yeah, that one's not bad.
pretty pretty sparkly. I
Mhm.
don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, for sure.
That one's not bad. What else is here? These got this got knocked over, so I can't find anything now. I think this is the purple that I'm gonna go with, the runic purple for the hair.
Yeah.
I don't
like
have
that.
a Dayglow one,
Right.
unfortunately.
Oops.
A lot of flesh ones.
Mm-hmm.
Different fleshes. That's the bronze. That's kind of a bronze too. I don't think that's bright enough. The Retributor armor.
Retributor armor is actually a really shiny gold.
Yeah,
Uh-huh. It is a base
I
coat.
could go with that.
Yep. Did I give you Brass Scorpion?
I do have Brass Scorpion. That looked a little too dark.
That's what I used here. Where is it? Focus up. Come on. On his little... This little thing. This icon.
Yeah, I think that's a little too dark.
Okay. That is over a black undercoat.
Yeah.
But... Fair enough.
Because this looks like really reddish.
Yep. Yeah, that's true. It does have a bunch of red in it.
I was about to say, usually when I'm going for a goldish color, I base coat with my Averland Sunset, like just the yellow, and then I just highlight it with the Auric Gold.
Oh, that's not a bad idea. Yeah.
Okay. Do you think I should go gold, or do you think I should go purple?
I mean, with the purple
Let's
hair, I
put
think
the hair. We know we're doing purple hair.
Yeah, do the purple.
So let's
Do the
put
hair
that
first, and we'll make the call from there. Because realistically, you'd want if your hair and sunglasses, because of how close they are together, you're gonna have to vary the shades slightly. So you'd have to go to the lighter purple on the
Yeah,
glasses. I think the gold makes more sense here.
I think so too. Yeah, the more I've talked about it, the more I've been like, I'm gonna go.
Yeah, we're sitting here talking ourselves out of it. I love it.
Yeah.
That's why we do this together. Closing extra windows on my computer. Okay.
You should just have one Windows on there. You only need one operating system.
I have two computers. No.
Right,
Although it
per
is.
computer.
Oh, gotcha. Well, the computer in question at the moment is my Mac, so.
Shouldn't need any Windows on.
No, I should not. That would be bad. I think I'm doing it right. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, if you didn't have these sideburns also, then I might consider purple glasses, but
Yeah. Cool. That's it for flesh on this one. Oh god. Boy, I'm actually really happy with most of how that flesh came out. I missed a spot.
That was an easy one.
Okay. And we've got the purple hair now.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna do the silver bits. I'll
Yep.
let that purple dry up there in the meantime.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Let's see what I have. Also, I don't know if I have a... What's this guy? It's leather brown. Oh, I have an open bottle of Dragon Bronze. Also. Oh yeah, here you go. This is I'm gonna use that. This is
Oh,
what
yeah, there
Dragon
you go.
Bronze looks like.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that looks awesome.
Didn't even look at blade steel together.
Moving on to the classic corn red. Actually, no, I'm not. Do some metal first.
Why this? I don't know why the Reaper blade steel clogs so often.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, it clogs a lot.
Hmm.
That is why my my Mega Mouser is mostly painted.
Oh, right.
Because it clogged. And I opened the top of it and was like, oh, okay. Let's scoop some of this out, and I dumped way too much. So I kind of won't waste all that paint. I guess I'm painting another mini tonight.
So pretty quick, pretty easy. Montoya, she's a police officer, so
Oh yeah.
shirt, pants, bam, done.
Yeah.
Quick wash.
Yep.
Always nice when you can find one that just kind of works like that. I actually think this Locust is going way faster than I thought he would.
Okay, time to pull up some reference material.
Hey, Dutchie. Tell Adam Starbound is collecting dust.
Dude, I was ready to play the other night, and you were like, no, I have to go to bed. I have to work.
That's what I thought. Whoop! Sorry again, cat. I have the cat sleeping by my feet, so
Oh, got it.
This is a little tedious.
My
Get
cat
in
went
between all
full
these
dog
teeth.
today.
yeah.
He decided to come when he was called. And I was like, oh, okay. Interestingly, he... Oh, allergies are the worst, Dutchie. Especially when my cat... My cat's official name is Buster. But, well, at least that's what my wife has on all his paperwork and stuff. But I named him Bunker Buster. And he, interestingly, does not respond to Buster. He responds to Bunker Buster.
That must have been nice. You have a cat that responds.
Right?
I was about to say my first cat was, for all intents and purposes, a dog. very food motivated, so I was able to like train him to do tricks for treats. And he like, yeah, he would come when he'd call. He was pretty much a dog.
That's hysterical.
That was Khaleesi when we first got her, and then she became real. See you next Tuesday.
Our other cat, Nico, I kind of describe him as the Fabio of cats. He's an incredibly handsome cat, but he is very dim.
Very what? You like
dim
for me there. Oh. I think this is kind of cool. This little technique here. Take the stress it a little bit. I haven't really gotten to do much of that.
Nice.
Yeah. Makes it look a little rougher. I'm actually gonna do that on the body of the thing here too. But... This chainsaw look a little bit worn. Yeah, that's nice. I like it. I like it. Yeah, I was saying at the beginning of the stream, Dutchy, that like I'd slept for most of the day because of allergies. And I passed out and like couldn't wake up, and whenever I woke up my eyes were all puffy until we turned the air conditioning on and I could breathe.
Trust me, RPD and Hien, you do not want to smell my cat. He has the worst farts ever because of his diabetic food.
Ugh.
Oh, God.
My dog has really, really bad farts.
Oh, yes, we've heard you complain about Gomez's farts.
They are terrible. Zero of 10 would not recommend. I will be leaving a very poor Yelp review on his farts. Dear sirs. I came to this place expecting to eat a meal in peace, but to my own home.
Adam Ribitaro, the Candace of... the Candace. The Karen of dog farts.
So this is starting out pretty well.
Which one are you moving on
Harley
to?
Quinn now, but doing
Okay.
the more classic design.
Nice.
Doing the red pants. And...
Yeah, the red and black.
I am
I didn't
not.
mind the
a
first movie design for her, but the second one's not great. The 52 one was terrible.
Yeah. I have pretty much
New 52
liked
is
Harley
probably
Quinn
hard
very
to listen
strongly since New 52 when they started turning her into Lady Deadpool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've spoken my undying affection for Jimmy and Amanda, but I wasn't I wasn't overtly thrilled with what they did with Harley. And part of that is, Harley is such a she's so damaged goods. And kids aren't realizing that. I've said this before.
Mm-hmm.
When my second graders come in dressed as Harley for Halloween, I die a little inside.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and part of the problem is like you have that. So you've got that like superhero girls cartoon,
Mhm.
which is mostly pretty great. Like I think it's actually like really well done and whatever. And of the designs in it, but you've got like Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy and Killer Frost, all those like good guy characters. Like
Yeah.
that's. You can't have girls looking up to these characters.
Right.
That's
Exactly.
not a good idea. I've never ever seen the Joker interpreted in a way that was like, "Hey, you should look up to him."
Right. Everybody knows Joker bad.
Right. And I mean, Harley's the same thing. You should not be looking up to her.
Exactly.
She is damaged. She's in an abusive relationship. It's not a situation you should aspire to.
Right.
Abusive at various degrees. Because there have been some times where it's been less abusive than others, but it has definitely gone further in the abusive recently.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the animated series is among the most abusive he's been.
Oh, without a doubt. Like Mark Hamill has gone on record as saying like that was his least favorite part of the role.
Yeah, he's kind of a monster, but
Yeah.
you know what? He's a villain. It's
Right.
okay for him to be a monster because he's the bad guy.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I think I know what I need to do here. I need to get some other colors in here because I can't see
the
what I'm
strength
doing.
to do it.
Well, I don't really like what they've done with Deadpool in recent years, though, either.
No.
Yeah, I really dislike Deadpool, and I can't say that he's a garbage character because he's not really a character. He's just a gimmick,
Exactly.
and
At this
it's a
point,
joke
yeah.
that died like 15 years ago.
Well, the other
Thank you, Daniel Way.
right. You have both heard me gripe and complain numerous times about the chimichangas joke too. That was a one-off throwaway in one comic that just for some
There was
reason
one comic also that he was saying he doesn't like to eat chimichangas.
He
He's
just
like, "I
likes
don't
to
like
say the
them,
word."
I just like to say the word.
right.
And like, yeah, that is like emblematic. Like anytime, like Deadpool was my favorite character for years,
Right.
and now anytime I'm like, anytime someone's like, oh my god, I love Deadpool, the first thing they say is chimichangas, and I'm like,
Nope. Yep. Nope. That's the point at which I walk away.
Right. Yeah, I see people going like to the movie and be like so excited to see this movie, to bust out the chimichangas.
We went to see Deadpool 2. And while I enjoyed myself because it was a rare night out with my wife, I was like, I am surrounded by the worst parts of like the PUBG community right now. Oh, wait a minute. Oh. Okay. It's actually a little easier than I expected. Ian mentions that, you know, people aren't respecting the fact that they're villains, and some people want to play the bad guy, and that's okay, but they know that they are the bad guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah. The concept of villain has been really watered down in the last 10 years. Like, what's the last great Marvel villain that was invented
Great Marvel villain.
that you can think of? What's the last great one? Because I can think of one from well, that's a while ago. I can think of a great one from every decade up until the last one, basically.
Mm. Yeah, see, all the good ones are ones that have been around forever.
Yep. Yeah. Like, so if you're going 60s, Magneto, obviously.
Without a question.
70s, you have Dark Phoenix.
Without a question.
80s, you have Mr. Sinister.
Yep.
90s, you have Omega Red. And Onslaught and Bash. I mean, there's a ton of great villains in all of them, but like, this is just one from each decade. Aughts is a little bit harder. Let me think. I can't think of an aughts one offhand. Yeah, and I don't think that we should be humanizing bad guys in comics. That's not the medium.
Correct.
I think there's a place for it, but everyone thinks that they're Alan Moore.
Right.
And there's only one Alan Moore, and that's Alan Moore.
Right. And there's a reason that he is not writing comics right now, or not as prolifically writing comics anymore.
Okay, I think I'm ready to watch this guy. Yeah, he looks rad.
He does look really good.
He looks like he is ready to dine on turtle soup. Oh, I completely forgot. I want to do the knee pads.
Oh, yeah.
I would have been real upset if I didn't get to do that, because that's a cool detail, I think.
There's a bit of the gun that's red too. Oh, the very barrel. Oh wow. Cool. Yeah, I like that. Is the stock supposed to be
Tell
right?
the
Yeah.
shrimp sculpted windows. I don't think there are. I think those are just snippets on. So then I want log flesh. I think that might be too dark. I might want something brighter. Yeah.
Oh man. As I add little bits of base coat to this, I start getting more and more happy with it because I can start being able to see it better. Sorry for talking writing again, but one of the things I've observed when I write villains is when they're either super goofy and I need the guy's book to stat them properly, or they're bleak enough that I need villains someone to destroy them because there's no story to tell. That isn't a big downer if I don't.
I can get arrested.
That's true.
You can arrest your villains. That's okay.
I mean, villains do get thrown in the joint fairly frequently.
It used to happen a lot more.
I know, like, I mean, it was a running joke for a very, very, very long time that Arkham was probably the least secure facility to lock someone up in.
Is it not still a running joke?
Like,
It just doesn't come up anymore.
I think that that you have a generation right now of comic writers that that do so from a very postmodernist viewpoint. Like, and like that worked for Watchmen because it was an intelligent examination of the genre.
Right.
But like, not everyone's going to be able to do that, and like you're making the same observations that Alan Moore did in like a really like a much dumber way. And you think you're clever, and you think you're the first person to do it.
Spoiler alert, you're not.
Yeah. Alright, that's not bad. There's the knees.
Man, this model's neck is really long.
Well, I guess it's made up for by the fact that my model has absolutely no neck whatsoever.
Yeah, my model has no neck either. We are ready for the wash on this. Liquid talent. This is not even fair.
What, washing?
Yes.
It's
It
Null
feels
and
like
Oil, man.
cheating.
He loves the Null and Oil, man.
I
It's
do.
great.
It's so good.
Feels like I'm cheating.
It's, yeah. The cheats. The big cheats. Wait till you get your hands on some Agrax Earthshade. That's the next level up right there.
Yeah, once I started getting the different color shades, it was just like, man, this is outstanding. How did I ever do this before?
Right?
Yeah. Believe you. It's like super effing solid blacks that look like comic book panels, like crazy. Just slather the stuff on here. Don't even care.
Mm-hmm.
But like, look at how cool that looks.
Yep.
It's like,
Hashtag this is the way.
it looks like it's inked. And like, I can touch it up to a bit so that it doesn't look as inked in some places. But like, I love that look for the Turtles ones.
Yeah.
It's not even fair.
Nope.
Put so much work into learning how to make my own washes, and I'll never make one again.
Darn right. Let's do a grab. So it looks like they changed the design of the Hammerburst assault rifle between Gears of War 1, the original, and Gears of War Ultimate Edition. So it's actually throwing me off right now.
What they change?
The whole so they moved from an exposed muzzle to a closed, like an encase or like an encasement around it,
Mm-hmm.
and they removed the sight from it too. It looks like, but that's fine. I'm willing to improvise. This up a little bit. Oh yeah, that looks
I
good.
love that you can just like put your brush there and it sucks it right up.
Yep.
It's so cool. God, this guy looks rad.
Okay, I'm just gonna go with exactly what I expected not to do. And I can shade it differently, I guess. Oops. There we go. Oh, I could do that. No, you're fine, RPD. I think we're all just in that weird spot where we're focused at the moment. Oh, but hey, it's after midnight. Happy birthday, Adam!
Happy birthday!
Oh, it's only 11 for me, but thank you.
Oh, that is definitely the wrong brush. I'm an imbecile. I don't know why I keep that brush around. It's been fired.
Out of a cannon into the sun.
Shot out of a cannon.
Wait, we're talking about Carnage now?
Cannon. Shot out of a...
That was one of the best things
No,
that
but-
happened out of the early 2000s in comics.
Feel like
Sentry ripping
shoot him
Carnage in
into
half and
space.
throwing him in the sun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's perfect. That dulled out the silver. Exactly as I wanted
Carnage
it
is
to do.
another great 90s villain.
Huh?
Yeah.
Carnage is another great 90s villain. What color should Bebop's base be? Like the ring around it.
Do the purple to match his hair.
Yeah.
The purple?
Either that or the red to match his jacket.
I was trying to think of something that's not the same as one of the turtles. It's like it might be the
True,
brown
that-
because of that, but like because Shredder gets silver, Splinter had the color of his gi. So I might do brown. Like I'm not gonna worry about matching the brown perfectly, but
Yeah. That makes sense. Okay, that is working as I thought it would. The cogs will actually do with silver armor, but the Locusts are so filthy that I'm doing So I'm doing this technique that we learned painting Space Marine bolters, where you can actually make a matte finish metal
oh.
by using grays instead of silvers.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm employing Mechanicus Standard Gray here to paint his armor. Years ago, Games Workshop sent us, because my boss griped at them long enough, they sent us a ton of just random Space Marines that we were like, what the hell are we supposed to do with these? So we started using them as test models.
Mm. I thought about doing that with like just grabbing a Fate of the Elder Gods and painting cultists.
Yeah.
I thought this seemed like it would get really boring, and I was just like, I'm learning quick, so.
Yep.
Yeah, like painting like 24 stormtroopers.
Oh my god. That's so tedious. Especially considering the GW
Yeah.
white doesn't stick to anything.
Well,
Except
I did
itself.
I did my foot soldiers. That was like the only bulk paint that I've done so far.
Mhm.
But I feel like I learned a lot in that. I did like my initial set of turtles, and then the older set, Shadows
Yeah.
of the Past set, and then I did the foot soldiers from that set, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm ready now. Like I got this.
Yeah.
Start doing these ones. So yeah, I think that looks. I think he's done.
Nice.
That looks phenomenal.
Yeah, I love it.
It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. I really like the nice solid effects on the like where the wash pooled.
Yeah,
It
this
gives
model's
it a,
gonna
like,
look
comic book
way
outline.
better when I get some ink on him.
But,
I'm pretty happy with where he's at so far. I got like 2 more colors I gotta throw down.
I think I'm gonna cut out and help Ness get to bed.
All right.
Because
Well, we've been-
she needs the bed made because the baby peed all over it last night.
Oh, lovely.
Not last night actually. It was this morning, and it was my fault. I was changing him, and I was like, okay, yeah, change. I took his thing off. I was like, oh, it's not that wet. I turned and put it in the trash. I turned back, and there's pee everywhere. It was like the space of like 3 seconds.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I do have all the Goons, Mousers, Foot Soldiers for this edition. Yeah, so one of the things I'm going to do, so like the Mousers won't take long to paint at all because they're super tiny, and I'll just assembly line them. We'll just paint all the silver, and like I'll just do them like that. Same with the Foot Soldiers. The Thugs, there's like a bunch of Thugs in this and a bunch of Thugs in Batman too, and I've talked to Candace about that. I want to paint those all unique.
Yeah.
And I just want to like sit and have fun with those, you know.
Yeah.
And come up with cooler things to do with them. So
Yeah, I think that's the right way to handle it.
yeah, instead of doing a mass paint on them,
Yeah.
because like Thugs never look the same. They're not all the same guy.
Right.
So
What they do in video games.
that's true. Well, the Foot Soldiers I am painting like the old beat 'em ups. Like I have I have a color code that I'm painting them in. So only the basic ones are purple.
Nice.
Yeah, and then like there's ones with like chains that'll be orange. There's ones with sides that'll be white. Then like yeah,
That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. Thanks for having me though.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm sure we'll talk to you again next week.
Yeah, pleasure getting to do this.
Yeah, it's
We'll
so
talk
much
to you guys
fun.
later.
Take it easy, Adam.
See ya. That's too much feet.
And just like that, the overlay is fixed.
Nice.
That one I did write down. I guess I should turn off Adam's name, because he's not here right now. There we go. Fixed! Give them backstories and names. That sounds like the kind of thing I would do, Ian. This one is Esteban. So it turns out these locusts are actually way easier than I gave them credit for. They're all literally the same dang color. There'll be some different highlights in it, but it's just pretty much loose coat of dryad bark for all the armored bits. And then a little bit of, and then the Rakarth flesh for their flesh.
Yeah.
Corn Red for some of the where the armor was before it got worn off. And again, Loose Coat. And I guess I'm going to do Brass Scorpion for a couple of accents here. Man, now I'm just painting Chaos Dwarfs again, Broody.
You're in a rut.
I'm in a rut. I get to break that with the cog soon, though. I think if I can nail down sort of a process for the Locust here, I can slam those out next week.
Mm-hmm.
And then get to move on from there. All things equal, I think these Gears minis are actually going to go pretty quick. I think the fun part is going to be spreading some like Sterling mud all over them, make them look filthy.
Mm-hmm.
The interesting thing about painting Locust is they don't have to be particularly nice looking. In fact, the grubbier and grimier they are, the more Locusty they look.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm not afraid of, you know, leaving giant gaps. And kind of just dry brushing my way through it. I think that's it for basing. Base coat. What do you think?
That looks pretty solid.
Right? Hit him with some ink and we'll see what happens. As you play, their unique traits start to come out. It's that one goon that never goes, "Oh, I got a great story, Hien." So I played before the Chaos Dwarfs were widely available again, or at all available again. I played regular dwarfs, and we used to do a lot of doubles games of Warhammer Fantasy 8th Edition. And my buddy John Garrigan and I were two dwarf players, both very good at the game. We were a bit of a doubles force to be reckoned with. And we were notorious for fielding a lot of Longbeards instead of basic dwarf warriors, spending the extra points because they just survive. They are grumbly, grimy, like, I'm better than you kind of dwarfs. And one time I was facing double elves. So it was 2,000 points for me, 2,000 for Garrigan, and 4,000 for Megan playing elves. She cast some sort of fiery convocation or something like that, and the dwarfs just started dropping like flies. But there was one dwarf in our force, in our giant block of Longbeards, that never once gave up. He succeeded every single save we threw at him, and I think it was a 6+, so like he just kept rolling 6s. And we named him Lone Wolf McQuaid, because by the time all the dust had settled, his entire unit had dropped. He had forced the high elf mounted cavalry to flee off the table by growling at them, and had run down 2 other units all by himself. He was a hero. We love Lone Wolf McQuaid. All right, where's my Agrax Earthshade? There. Oh boy, running out.
So I am on the wash for Harley.
Nice. Oh, I did miss a bit.
Oop.
I missed a bit with the gray.
Hey, Grax. Whoop. Oh. Stupid Cortana, go away.
I call her Captain Unhelpful.
Yeah.
Siri's no better. I mean, I'm an iPhone guy, but Siri's just as useless as Cortana.
Yeah.
Oh, I did miss a bit of flesh. Yes, that day Lone Wolf McQuaid earned his name. He actually, we found a duplicate of that model in the bowels of the store. And we put him on a plinth and painted him Ironbreaker. And there's a monument at the store to Lone Wolf McQuaid. And I wrote out his story in Dwarven Runes. I should probably find that plinth. It's around somewhere. Alright. Where are we looking? Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. Alright, lots of Earthshade. Let's see what we need for the flesh. I think it's just Earthshade again. Sepia, apparently. Yeah, I can buy it. Oh wait, nope, hold on, I'm looking at the wrong one. Oh yeah, okay. Seraphim Sepia.
Okay. Wash is done.
Nice.
And it just needs to focus.
I think I'm gonna hit this with the... Oh, sick, dude! Oh, that looks so much better with the classic color scheme.
Yeah. As opposed to this yellowish, pinkish
Yeah,
thing.
no, I'm not buying that for $1.
Yeah.
Like, no offense to Margot Robbie, I do not blame her for that at all. I miss the classic black and red. Whoa.
Yeah.
Marvel as I whack my camera. Sorry, everybody. You're going to see me mess with my camera for a little while. There we go.
I don't think I need a dry brush the base at all.
Alright. Earthshade first. Then Sepia. Then we're done for tonight, I think. Really dull this out.
Dry brush for Oracle.
Oh my god, that's... God, I love Agrax Earthshade, man.
Yep.
It's so good.
Let's say this Oracle model doesn't really need a lot of dry brushing.
I was gonna say, I can't imagine it does.
It's like a little bit of red on her hair, and I've got green on her backpack. I'm gonna do a tiny bit of blue on her pants, but
Yeah. Oh, this just makes him look filthy. So I'm so excited for next weekend, man.
what's up next weekend?
Well, it's
You're doing the
free.
cogs?
Huh?
Doing the cogs?
No, I'm gonna do more locust. I'm gonna finish these locust next weekend, but I also want to get another brutality mini started. But like, no, we're taking my nieces to go fishing,
Oh, nice.
It's free fishing day in New Hampshire.
Free fishing day?
Yeah, you don't have to have a license. So we're going on a tour of the best waterfalls in the state, and we're gonna let the girls pick which one they want to fish at.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great time. We're gonna do it Grand Tour style. So we're arming each car with a walkie-talkie, and if I can finagle it, I'm gonna put GoPros in the cars, so we can film the journey. It's a 2.5 hour round trip with no stops, so should be a good day's outing. Oh my god, I'm so happy with the way this is turning out. Oh, Agrax Earthshade saving the day once again. Here comes the Seraphim Sepia.
That worked out.
I'll show you in
trying
one
to figure
second.
out how to dry brush. Well, I knew how to dry brush it, but I decided to try something different.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually used this Cronus Blue on top of the black slacks for Montoya,
Yep.
as opposed to just doing like a standard gray. And I think it popped up pretty nice.
Nice. Apropos of nothing, Zach, I'm glad to see you like the cookie run fan art I shared. Yeah. Also, thank you for posting the new Defunct Land. Gotta watch that. Loved. I'm so glad they finally covered the Berenstain Bears theme park. I may have gone a little heavy with that. Oh, it's not new? Oh, then maybe I have seen it. So I definitely watched something about Berenstain Bears theme park. But... all right. I think that... I mean, I got some dry brushing to do on this guy still. But I think between the sepia and the Earthshade, this guy is pretty rock solid.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty much done for the night as well.
What do you think?
Harley's still... Ooh, yeah, that Agrax really came out really nice.
Yeah, I'm super happy with the flesh too. I got to pick out some detail on it and then add a little bit of. I'm going to do a black dry brush for the scales that aren't there. I'm going to kind of have to freehand those, but I think what I'm going to do is there's a lot of dryad bark with Agrax, so I'm going to pick out some of the details in that, do a couple of different shades. But I think it's going to look pretty dope. All right, well, thank you everybody for hanging out. We had a great time, as always. Broody and I will be back. Broody and Adam and I will be back next Saturday, but same bat time, same bat channel. See what I did there? And I'll definitely show you the finished product of the Hthark boys, and we'll continue working on what we're working on. I will be back on the Handelabra Games channel tomorrow night at about 7 for Tales from the Archive. Be sure to, if you catch Adam on Discord, wish him a happy birthday, because it is his birthday, starting now. Have a good night, everybody. Bye.